Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 6 of Pop It Like It's Hot. To end off 2023, we decided to bring a special guest to our little pop podcast, Gianni's very own mother, Miss Maggie.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Welcome, Miss Maggie.
Thank you.
So this is our Christmas special, guys, and also our last episode of the year. Oh my god. It's kind of crazy.
I know.
Oh my god. So I wanted to talk about my experience in New York City. I just recently came back, and it was a wonderful Christmas experience. I just thought it would be fitting because, this is our Christmas special. I went to see the one and only Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. She brought out Busta Rhymes. She slayed the house down.
Say the house bound, boots and everything.
Boots and everything. Come to find out, though, that she recently split after 7 years with her longtime boyfriend, who was also her backup dancer, Brian Tanaka. Oh, and I had some thoughts about that. I thought they were a cute couple. But I did read upon their breakup, and the reason why they broke up was due to the fact that he wanted kids and she didn't. So, unfortunately, things ended there because of that. And my thoughts were, I understood, she's, I think she's 54 and he's 40. So I understand the age difference there. She already has 2 twins. So I think the factory's been closed in her mind. So she's past that. But he, is a lot, well, I wouldn't say a lot younger. I feel like the age difference is appropriate. But they're totally in different headspaces right now. And I, of course, understand why they broke up. But it's sad to see. But I think she'll be better off single. I don't know. I think that's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mel?
I honestly didn't know she was dating anyone.
I feel like their relationship was kind of like not as public.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
And it's not like her first backup dancer that she had a thing with, right?
I think she had a fling with somebody else who was in her dance crew before.
The last thing I remember was that she was married to a billionaire. That's the last thing I've heard.
I just remember Nick Cannon.
Yeah, Nick Cannon.
His family tree's longer than the entire world wrapped around 500 times.
Right.
They all have interesting names too. Mariah's children's names are Morocco and Monroe, which I think are cute.
Yeah.
When I look at the entire family tree, I think the names for Mariah's kids were the cutest.
Yeah.
Miss Maggie, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. What are your thoughts on the situation between Mariah and Brian?
I think personally, when there's a big age gap between Mariah and her boyfriend, that's 14 years, they should have probably talked about that early on in their relationship before going into 7 years and then realizing that they were both in a different spot in their life.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree with you. At that age, they should have discussed that earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
I think that was pretty much it. I think that'll be when there's a big gap age difference. I think that as a couple, they should have talk about those things early on and not wait until 5-6 years into the relationship to finish in those kind of terms because they didn't discuss what they wanted to both do. She had children already, but he didn't have any, but he wanted, and there's a big age. And maybe for many reasons she didn't want. I mean, maybe she didn't want to go, and she's probably going through, at her age, going through menopause, or maybe it could be that, she just can't have children at this late in life. And maybe he wanted to say, or maybe she just wasn't open to have any, any ideas maybe for any kind of adoptions or anything. So that's it for me.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of our episode.
Love you, Maggie.
Thank you, and I love you guys.
Bye.
Love you, Maggie.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Period.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you guys so much for listening to our intro with Miss Maggie. We loved having her as a special guest on our episode. And now on to the next several topics we have to discuss for today. There are quite a bit. I wanted to get into Gypsy Rose Blanchard. she's coming out of prison soon. I don't know if you guys know the story, but basically, in a nutshell, her mom was like mentally ill and made everybody believe that Gypsy had a bunch of health conditions, which of course she did not. I think it's called Eucassin syndrome, is what they believe the mother had.
By proxy or something like that.
It was like Mucosal syndrome by proxy.
Yeah.
Because she was Gypsy's proxy, of course, because she was underage.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what they meant by that. I think a doctor somewhere in the Midwest like diagnosed her with that, but had no evidence to kind of like prove that that's what she had.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically when Gypsy got a little bit older, she like went on this Christian dating website and convinced this man to literally kill her mom, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He went to jail for life, and she went to jail for I think she was sentenced to 10 or 15 years in prison.
Yeah.
But she got out early, I guess, because she was, doing well. So she's getting out early on good behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But I think her sentence was a lot less given the fact of what she had to go through with her mother.
Yeah.
So it's quite sad. I just think the entire story is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that she had already booked tickets to the Chiefs game on like December 30th or 31st in hopes of meeting Taylor Swift. Oh, I just thought that was hilarious.
That's plain old Gypsy.
Plain old Gypsy.
I love Gypsy.
I'm glad that she's getting out early.
Mm-hmm.
I really do feel bad for her.
Yeah.
She had to endure so much in her childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like prison, oddly enough, has made her a lot stronger. I know she was saying in an interview that if anything, she felt more free in prison than she did out in the real world at the expense of her mother. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah. I like feel so bad for her because like obviously she murdered her mom. Like what the it's like know her story, then it's like like she was the victim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like her mom basically forced her to take medicines, like faked her age for so long so that way that Gypsy wouldn't leave her guardianship. She kept saying like, "Oh, you're like this many years old, but have a mentality of this." But then Gypsy's like, "I thought I was born on this year." Like it doesn't make sense, And like that Hulu special that came out, I forgot the name of but it was based on the Gypsy Rose.
Yep. There's like a couple out there, right?
Yeah, but the one that I like was the one with Joey King. On Hulu. I forgot the name
Joey
of it.
King, let's search it up. Gypsy Rose. Joey King. It says The Act.
Yeah, The Act. That one was a good story. I think that one really kind of showed you of like how intense the mother was towards Gypsy and like how restrained she was.
Yeah.
And like I felt like the only way for her to get out was really like, to do that, what she did to her mom.
That's crazy.
It is very crazy.
And I knew nothing about this. I just kept hearing Gypsy's name all over the news.
Oh, I'm on that case. I did the Gypsy Rose as a presentation, as like one of my college presentations.
Oh, really?
Back then. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just brushed up on the bus. Now I know the story, or at least the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite crazy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Anita. Sorry, Anita. And PESO PLUMA.
So apparently there was like this award show performance, like Anita and PESO PLUMA have a song together with, I don't know what the name of it.
Oh, Beakio.
Yeah.
Beakio.
So yeah, they did a performance together. And currently PESO PLUMA is in I think she's Spaniard, right?
Nicki Nicole is
I believe she is Spaniard.
I thought she was Argentinian.
Oh, maybe okay. She probably is then.
Let me see. Nicki Nicole.
She's so pretty though.
Yeah, she's from Argentina.
Oh, okay.
But she's very pretty.
She's very pretty. Well, so she was in the crowd watching her boyfriend, of course, perform with Anita. And a lot of people were giving PESO PLUMA, well, more ANITTA a backlash because ANITTA was really on PESO PLUMA during this performance, and you could tell PESO PLUMA kind of looked lost. If you watch the video, he kind of looked like, oh. He was like you could tell he was like, I can't look, you know.
Yeah.
And ANITTA was just, doing her thing, shaking all that, ANITTA's gorgeous, by the way.
She is beautiful.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of her for years.
Mhm.
I think the first song that I ever listened to was, I think back in 2016. It was on Just Dance. Oh my God, I need to find the name of that song. I think it was 2016, Just Dance, ANITTA. Oh my gosh. It was called Bang. I really liked that song. Anyway, ANITTA has been very known for doing like sexual music. Like that's just kind of her thing. And she does it with a purpose. And it's kind of like her way of taking like her own power, which I love. And
Mhm.
she has done such a good job in pushing boundaries, I feel like, for women, which I I respect her so much as an artist. She does music not only in Portuguese but in Spanish and now in English. She's kind of like marinated herself in different music markets. And that's always been her style for as long as I can remember. It's very sexy. So I feel like sometimes that could be misconstrued. I don't know. This is all alleged, so maybe it's true, maybe it's
Mhm.
not. Um, but what I do know about ANITTA is the way she carries herself and the way she kind of puts out her music is in a very like sexual way, and that's kind of on purpose. Because sex sells.
Yeah.
Uh, but I don't know. I feel like deep down she wasn't trying to like flirt or hit on him.
Mhm.
But I mean, I haven't seen the video, but I could see how that could be perceived because I feel like in a lot of these cases, perception is everything. So if you're seeing it in that way, I see how it could be misconstrued and maybe appear as if, she was flirting with him.
A lot of people. So the reason I see that is because a lot of people saw that. Obviously, the girlfriend was in the crowd, so people thought like she was like kind of sending the girlfriend a message. But then, like, if you see the video like of the girlfriend there, she didn't look pissed or anything. She's just kind of like a blank face, like she was just watching.
Mm,
And like I thought the same way too. Like, that's probably just Anita doing the performance. You know what I mean? They can't just stand still,
right.
while
They
they
gotta
perform.
move.
They gotta move, right? But I think what really took people on edge was like when they saw the rehearsals of their performance. Anita wasn't doing all that like
Oh, I
body
see.
movement. She wasn't doing all that grinding. She was just
Ugh.
like she was being more like platonic. So I don't know. I don't
Mm,
know what it is. I can't really say because I'm like at the end of the day they're performers, but I don't know if that's true of what people are saying that like she was like trying to like flirt, that that's not a girl thing to do.
I see. And
But
especially, out of respect to Nikki Nicole, I could see where, people would be upset by that
yeah,
as he is in an active relationship.
yep.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Cardi B and Offset have called it quits.
Oh yeah,
I feel like for this episode, we're going to be talking about a lot of people calling it quits. What's going on, man?
it's the end of the year. They're like, I need to start off new.
Must be.
Mhm.
Mercury must be in retrograde or something.
Yeah.
But Cardi B and Offset have called it quits. Wah, wah, wah. They've
Womp
actually
womp.
been broken up for quite some time.
Not shocked.
Yeah, I'm not really shocked about this either. I feel like Cardi had come out multiple times before and said that he cheated on her. So I feel like
Yeah.
once a cheater, I don't want to be like once a cheater, always a cheater, but I feel like the trust is no longer there. The vibes aren't
Mhm.
the same.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was only their relationship was only going to go downhill from there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they tried their best to rekindle their relationship, but at the end, it just wasn't worth it.
I saw a clip that she had when she was on live that she was kind of like crying
Really?
about like of how Offset like played her. But I was like, girl, why are you shocked? It's not the first time he's done that to you, you know?
This is true.
And like, if it's she's doing this for the baby, for their because they have what, 2 kids, right? I think it's two
They
kids.
have 2 together, and I think he has a couple with other women.
Yeah. I'm like, at the end of the day, like, you shouldn't stay in a marriage just for the sake of the kids. You know what I mean?
That's true, because then you're not happy.
Exactly. And if kids don't see you guys are happy, then they won't be happy.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, a little off topic, it's probably better for parents to be separate but be civil. It could be like a better like really to see like the kids see that their relationship with the what
I know where you were going with
yeah,
that, though.
yeah, like if the children see that the parents still have a civil co-parentship while still not being together romantically, it could still be healthy for them. Like, you don't have to be still romantically involved with the other parent, you know, for the
Exactly.
sake of the child. Because, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like, too, when parents try to stay together even though they know they're not in love,
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of their children, they're actually doing the opposite. They're actually hurting their children in a way, because they see and feel all of that themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They can feel the vibes. Children are quite perceptive. They know something's wrong. And yeah, like you said earlier, if the parents aren't going to be happy, what makes you think the kids are?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to suck either way. It's going to hurt either way. But like you said, I think the best course of action is, if you're not in love, separate, but also, find that balance where you can still be there for your kids, because it's definitely possible. I've seen people in my personal life and, in social media do it. So it's definitely possible.
Stay civil.
Stay civil, stay classy, never trashy. Thank you.
Thank you for our sponsors.
Let's talk about TANA at the H3 show.
Yes! Okay. So, if you know me, then you know my favorite podcast of all time is H3. I'm a family foot soldier. Yeah.
I thought your favorite podcast was Pop It Like It's Hot.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh. We might be starting the new year with just me on this podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are gonna discuss a drama. Okay.
Melanie the Backstabber! Just kidding.
Well, okay. So, H3. I love H3. I've been watching them. I started watching them since Frenemies. But obviously Frenemies is no longer. But I still kept watching H3 afterwards, and I gotta say I love them so much.
They're funny.
I love it. Their show, Ela, Ethan, everyone else. It's so good. It makes my week. You know.
I love that for you.
Yeah, they make, I think, around currently it's 3-4 episodes a week, 5 if you remember, which I am.
You would know this.
Yes. So I watch them religiously, and so they do this thing. If you don't know, if you're not an H3 fan, start watching H3. But second of all, if you're not an H3 fan, then something that they do at the end of the year, part of a tradition, is called the Steamies, kind of like a goof off the Streamies. So the Steamies is like an award show that they do, and they give awards for like certain categories to certain YouTubers, but like in a joking way. So like for example, they had a category this year called Call the Police, right? For like people who did like really like up things. And the award went to James Charles, who texted minors. Yeah. So just to give you a gist, like it's like joking, it's fun. And so this year they usually do it in their studios, and they always dress up nice, like, you know, like an award show. Like it's goofy, you know.
That's cool.
They decided to take a step forward, like a big step, and they decided to do this award show at the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles.
What the hell?
And if you guys don't know the Dolby Theater, that is the same theater where they do the Oscars. And they sold out. It was a big success for them. And so every H3 fan was looking forward to this all year when they announced it, really. And, you know, we were all looking forward to it. We were so excited. It was going good at first, right? then came out Jeff Wittick and Tana Mojo as a co-host guest, right?
Mm.
They came out, you know, everything was going good. Later on the show, you realize Tana was a little drunk, maybe too drunk.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and she was she was kind of like ruining the show a bit because she was like kind of like going off track. She kept talking about more about herself, like, you know, and it was just like, and you could tell in the comment section because it was live stream, everyone's like, bro, get Tana off there, she's too drunk, she's too drunk. And even Jeff and everyone was kind of like telling her like, shut up, like kind of sending her hints like, shut up, you know.
Shut up, Tana.
Yeah, and she just kept going off and off. And earlier I mentioned about the James Charles, right?
Yeah.
The little scandal that he did. Word on the street was that Ethan said that, Tana, I remember one time you told me the next time you will go on my show, you will say that you will denounce James Charles, because she did talk about James, but then apparently they became friends again, but then she like stopped talking to him again. And so he was like, can you denounce James Charles for being the weirdo that he is? And she kept saying,
oh my God.
And she kept saying, I'd rather be civil. I'd rather be civil. And people are like, you'd rather be civil with a pedo?
Ooh.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's not a good look.
yeah. So we were like, Tana, why are you being so scared to say something, you know? And so that was one thing. The other thing was
Maybe he promised her a pallet or something.
Right. Yeah, exactly. She was like, I'm trying to stay on that PR list. But not only that, another thing that she did that was kind of messed up in my opinion was that she put on later on a shirt that said, I heart Trisha Paytas. And if you know anything, Ethan and Trisha currently are not in speaking terms.
Right.
And it's not because of like, and like, it's not like Shane Dawson or Jeffree Star where it's like friend drama. Like they're actually family. Like they're basically in-laws. Like, if you guys don't know, Ethan's wife Ela and Moses, Trisha's husband, they're brother and sisters.
Yeah.
And they're no longer on speaking terms. We don't know what's going on back. Yeah. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if it was a podcast or something else, but they are no longer on speaking terms. So, yeah. So I feel like for Tana to do that on their live show is kind of disrespectful in a way.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's not just some petty drama. Like, this is actually like family.
Yeah.
You know? Like
this is something that's really personal.
Yeah.
On a certain level.
Yeah. I thought it was like I thought that went too far because I'm like, that's like disrespectful. One
thing about Tana, she's messy.
Yeah.
And she knows it. Like, I love her sometimes, and then she goes around and does things that I'm just like, not cool, girl, not cool. Just definitely one of them. I mean, first of all, who shows up to a show drunk?
Right. And she was like, I get so nervous, I start drinking. I was like, well, then maybe don't agree to do it.
Or take a Xanax.
Yeah. That's literally what she told one of the crew members. So Cameron, I love Cameron so much. He's so funny. So, it's a little off topic, but it's something that she said that was so disrespectful. If you're an H3 fan, you would know that he was like doing one of the categories, but he was like, I'm a little nervous, so bear with me, you know. And then Tana screams, take a Xanax, you know, to be funny. But like, if you're an H3 fan, then you know that his dad died of an overdose because he was an addict, a drug addict.
Damn.
So it was something that kind of like, you know, so like if you're an H3 and you know all that lore, you know, that's kind of like, oh, why would you say that to him? Don't say that to him.
Yeah, like that's
yeah, he was
not a good look. Oh man.
So I was like, he was already nervous enough, and now you gotta like talk about Xanax, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I see where that could be a big problem.
Yeah.
I mean, this had problem written all over it.
Yeah. So she was like really like she was really like getting off the rails with this show, and I think eventually they did cut her mic because I think she went mute for a minute.
Put him on mute.
Put him on mute, literally. And after that, the show went fine. But yeah, she was just like really derailing the whole show, and then like
That's
Twitter was going,
unfortunate.
yeah, and Twitter was really going off saying like, Tana, shut up. And I think she finally read the tweets and she was like, oh.
And she's going on Twitter and she sees like the trending topics hashtag Tana shut up.
Yeah. She's like, oop, let me just.
Oh my gosh, what a mess.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, the H3 show was like, I love it. They won't be back till January because they're on a short winter break, as they should. They deserved it. They deserved it. But yeah, they were great. I love H3 family.
Love that for you.
Yep.
I'll have to eventually get into that.
Yeah.
Speaking of calling it quits, like we did earlier with Cardi B and Offset, remember, guys? Oh, and of course Mariah and Brian. A lot of heartbreaking relationships that are ending this holiday season. I guess this is also a relationship that has been kind of been over for some time. But that is Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny, which I'm not surprised. I'm actually happy. I don't think they were a good couple to begin with.
That was a PR. That was so fake.
Yeah.
They were so fake. Okay, let me tell you. I have a Vogue subscription. And I got my December issue, right? And I was going through it, of course. And then I saw that Gucci campaign of Kendall and Bad Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is fake. That just confirmed to me they were fake.
I didn't like that shoot.
Yeah. I was like, it looked too fake. They look like they don't know each other. You know what I mean?
It was like, we'll pay you a lot of money if you guys smile and act like you love each other.
Just give each other a quick smooch.
Yeah. It was giving fake.
It was. It literally was. And then, like, obviously the memes were like, how do they even talk to each other?
I know. That was probably one of my favorites. Because it's true. I mean, like, they speak Bad Bunny, granted, he does speak some English, but I know it's very broken.
Yeah.
And Kendall's, I'm sure she doesn't speak a lick of Spanish.
No.
Have you seen how she cuts a cucumber?
Right.
So that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah. It was very awkward. You know what I think it was? Okay. I always had this theory, and I think this is how it went. Obviously, in Hollywood, everyone hooks up with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
they share.
Yeah. So I think what happened was that one day, because apparently it all started when people saw them leave a club together. I think they were at a club, and then they were like, hey, let's just hook up, like a casual hookup. And I guess they got caught by paparazzi, and their teams were like, okay, well, y'all got a date now. Because or else this is going to look nasty.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny that you talk about that. I was looking at some theories on TikTok, and they said right when Kendall and Bad Bunny got together, there was some drama with some of the other like Kardashian and Jenner sisters. Mm-hmm. And they were saying that Kris kind of put them together. This is a theory. This is alleged. That Kris put them together to kind of distract the world from the drama that was going on with that other couple of sisters. I forget what the drama was.
Was it Kylie and
I think it was Kylie and oh my god,
Haley?
Yes, it was in regards to the Selena Gomez stuff. Yeah, it was that drama. Yeah. So kind of like to distract the world and put out the fire on that. People were saying that Kris totally like meddled in because she's the manager as well,
right,
for the girls.
We love Kris.
No, I love Kris. One of my coworkers, this is like off topic. She gave me for Christmas, Kate, you know who you are. I love you, Kate. A Kris Jenner Christmas card. And I'm like, oh my god, I just got Kris. No, but I love Kris. She's a boss. I mean, she's the reason why the Kardashians and the Jenners are where they are. Mm-hmm. Besides Kim's sex tape. But yeah, people were theorizing that Kris essentially like forced them into a relationship to get everybody's eyes off the drama with
she's
Kylie.
Smart girl.
So honestly, like I feel like that could be true. I feel like that is like totally not off the ballpark or off the.
Oh no, I would definitely believe it.
You know what I mean?
If it's true.
Yeah.
Kris is a mastermind, and we should respect it.
I know. Her mind.
Right. Kris, work with us.
If they are like still this relevant, still this rich, they're clearly doing something right. Like, hate on them all you want, but they're here to stay, baby.
Yeah, they're here to stay. They don't play.
I'm waiting for season 5 of the Kardashians. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that's enough about them, though. We need to follow up on Matt Rife. There's some more drama with him and Brooke.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Excuse me. I had to burp. So
You filthy animal.
I think it was the last episode we talked about the Matt Rife situation, that he was being a little douchey, whatever.
Correct.
So if you guys don't know, Tana Mojo has a podcast with one of her best friends, Brooke. It's called the Cancel Podcast. And they just talk about their lives and like outside world. And it's entertaining. So one time, I think it was like earlier this year, they had an episode and Matt Rife was a guest. Looking at it, they looked like, like civil, like everyone in that room, it was them three, they looked pretty okay, but people were kind of saying that like Brooke was kind of mean to Matt, like she sounded kind of rude in a way, but like trying to hide it. We didn't know then, but like with everything coming out, she was like, well, I'll just say it, like me and Matt used to have a thing earlier this year. And so what happened was that, so they had a thing, she would visit him in different cities when he was doing his little comedy tour. She would go in different cities and watch him. Apparently like he was being like saying like, I don't want to see you, they weren't officially dating, but he would like say things to her like, I don't want to see you with other men. I want us to be a thing. Like he would also mention something randomly like, I want to run away to DC with you. I'm like, run away to DC? I thought it was kind of random.
Yeah.
To see George Washington, but
that guy's another mess.
Yeah, it was a little weird. So yeah, so apparently, yeah, they had a thing. They kept it private. But apparently when he was done with touring, he was back in LA, he wasn't really seeing Brooke that often. And so Brooke came up to him and was like, hey, look, why you're not really giving enough time for me, blah blah blah. And then Matt said, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now, maybe we should just like separate for now, and she took it respectfully. She was like, okay, he was actually being pretty respectful in the separating part. Like he was very respectful, said what he had to say, and that was it, right?
I said what I said. Sorry.
Yeah. So that happened. Oh, something else I forgot to mention that happened during that time. Before they broke up. Apparently he went on another podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast. He went on another podcast as a guest. And they asked him, what is your dream girl? His response was, I want a blonde girl with fake tits and a vagina with no how do I explain this?
No hair?
No. The clitoris, he doesn't want a hanging clit.
Oh!
Yeah. With no hanging clit.
So he wants no roast beef.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want roast beef on his sandwich. And then and so when Brooke saw that, she was like, what? So, because first of all, if you've seen Brooke is a brunette with no fake tits. And she said this herself, that she has roast beef. She was so yeah. So she was like, why is this guy that I'm seeing saying basically his dream girl's the complete opposite of what I am? So obviously that kind of bothered her.
Of course.
That too. And so, okay. And so I think after they were still kind of seeing each other during this time too. When he came in as a host. And I think, and then she came out saying like, the reason why I look so rude is because he walked in like if he didn't know me. He literally shook my hand and introduced me like if we never met.
What the?
in front of everyone. It was embarrassing. So that's why
Oh
she
my
was playing rude to get. And
God.
Tana knew that they were having a thing. So obviously, like, Tana was like pissed about this too. She was like, bro, like, you're with my friend. Why are you acting like you don't know her, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another thing. So that, because of the Matt Rife drama, basically going back to now, they kind of like are opening up, like saying all this, saying like, you know, why was he um basically saying like, this is why we were that way to him and during the interview, but we never said anything, you know, but like because of this whole drama coming out, we said and just, you know, told the truth.
That guy's so messy. Also, with that jaw that could cut any little thing into a million pieces, he should not be talking about
That
roast beef.
he is so botched, let me tell you.
I'm like,
That man is botched. Have you seen? Because I don't know if you know, he was in Wild and Out.
oh, was he?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
and the
that.
way he looked, because right now he's like 28. When he was on
He's
that show,
28. He looks
yeah,
older.
I know surgery did him dirty. When he was on that show, I think he was like 21 or 22. He looked like a 16-year-old boy. He looked like a baby.
I'm gonna need to talk to his plastic surgeon.
Right.
We need to. We need to have some words.
We need to have some words. We need to figure something out. But yeah, that was the whole drama going with them, and
That's a lot. That's so messy.
yeah, Matt Rife. Oh my God! Why do I keep forgetting about this? Um, another reason why she kind of want to expose him was because she actually saw a girl post on her story a picture of him and her and Matt Rife together. Not Matt Brooke, but like another girl with Matt Rife, like if they were dating.
Uh-huh.
And she said this was from earlier this year. And Brooke said, whoa, I was with him earlier this year. What are you talking about? So she sent the girl a little message like, hey, like, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
when exactly were you like with Matt? And so when the girl saw the message, she instantly added Brooke to this group chat with so many other girls. They all
What
showed
the
each other
hell?
evidence.
Oh
Everything matched up. He said the
no.
same lines to each girl
Oh
that I don't want to see
no.
with other guys. I want to run. Weirdly enough, he told a lot of girls like, "I want to run away to DC with you." I'm like, "What is with you in DC? What is like? What's so good about Washington DC? Like
Literally, like, what is over there?
Joe Biden." Literally,
We
Kamala
did
said,
it,
"Do not."
Joe.
Kamala literally told you, "Do not come." So
And he said, I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come.
We did it, Joe.
Joe
You're gonna be the next president of the United
needs them,
States.
America. So yeah, that was another thing I wanted. There's a lot. So I know it was like a bit rambling, but
No, girl. That's the point of this podcast.
true
We
that.
need to ramble on.
Ramble.
I'm just like losing brain cells over here over this crazy drama.
Mm-hmm. It's a
This
lot.
man just makes me like lose brain cells every time I hear his name. It's never anything good,
Never.
Damn. Oh, let's talk about Celine Dion.
Oh yes.
I feel so bad. I mean, this poor woman was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
and it is worsening. She's having a lot of muscle issues to the point where she can't even like talk well or even sing well. So that must be hard for her because, of course, she is a singer, and to be able to not use your muscles, I just to do what you loved or
Mm-hmm.
love, I should say, that must be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to put myself in her shoes, and of course would not wish that on anybody, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't believe how hard that I can only imagine like what she's going through and how hard it is.
Yeah.
But it's just sad because I feel like these are like people we grew up listening to, and you know, as we get older, they're of course even older than us, and they're getting even older, and I don't know, just makes me think of life. I know I'm getting so deep here, but it just makes me think about life and death and its cycle and just what people go through on the daily. And it just reminds me too, God bless my health and the health of those around me. Everybody's healthy now, but it could change in the blink of an eye, and it just makes you take the it just makes you like wonder, and also makes me tell myself like don't take things for granted, because your time on this earth is quite limited.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably even harder to around the holidays.
So Miss Celine Dion is Titanic herself.
You're here, then
Did you say they're gonna do a Titanic exhibit? I think in April next year or February, somewhere around there.
Oh, this is news to me.
Yeah, they're gonna
No, I
have
did
one
not
here in
know.
Chicago.
The only Titanic that I know is the game on Roblox. Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course the movie.
Yeah. Thank
Oh,
you.
girl, we got to talk about Vin Diesel. What the heck is going on?
Yeah. So I didn't see the details yet, but I saw that Vin Diesel is getting sued by his former assistant for sexual battery.
That bald-headed freak.
Right. I am not shocked about this because I don't know. There was this like viral interview clip from him from like the 2000s. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like this blonde interviewer came to interview for like I guess one of the Fast and Furious movies, and she was trying to ask him questions, but he kept saying, "Talk to me, baby," like kept trying to flirt with her. But and yeah, and then she was just like, okay. Like, like you could tell she was so uncomfortable. And he was like, he kept saying stuff like, "Talk to me, baby."
Dude,
He's
like,
like, "Oh, you're so beautiful." Like seeing all these gross stuff. I'm just like, ew.
Read the
I'm like,
room.
you think women like that? I'm like, do you think women like that to be approached like that?
And I'm sure she's giving him all the cues, and he's just like not reading the room.
Right, literally.
Oh.
He was being that old creep from the bar that's like trying to get on the girl, and the girl's like, no, thank you.
His voice really bothers me.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
talk to me, baby.
I feel like this situation just makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely not okay. It's just crazy. Everything like really comes out during the holiday season, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed that.
For sure.
Oh my god, we got to talk about another relationship, but in this case, an engagement. So the relationship is taking off, not breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Demi Lovato and JUTES. They're engaged. I mean, I knew this was coming. But after her previous engagement with Max Ehrlich, I think that was his name.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think Demi was going to get engaged ever again. I mean, that man really broke her. Excuse me. But I'm happy for her.
I thought he was the broken one.
Oh, was it? I don't know. I just saw all these videos of her like crying, so I assumed she was like the one that was like.
Because there was like videos of, didn't you see like those pictures of him like sitting on the beach after they announced the breakup?
Oh, he's also nuts from what I hear.
Yeah. So I wanted to
But then she talks about like communicating with ghosts. So,
yeah. So who's the sane one here?
Anyway, sorry, what were you gonna say?
So I wanted to rail onto this because there was more, I don't know if you saw it, but there was more drama added to because of this engagement, that there was an Instagram that kind of like, so the real Max or whatever said that this is not him, but there was another account basically posting real, and like a Twitter account too, like posting like weird stuff. Like, so the first was an Instagram post of him with a teary eye and a broken heart emoji after his engagement, after the engagement was announced. And then the other one was a tweet that said like, my ring was bigger than that one, or like that's the only thing that's bigger. But just like saying weird shit, basically saying like I was better to her and all this stuff. But then and then like there's like these like fake DMs that came out posing as him saying like, I will get you back, and Demi Lovato's like, fuck off, leave me alone.
I'm talking to ghosts right now. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm singing to the ghost right now, please. And so, but the guy came out and said it's all fake. Like, I'm happy for Demi that she found the person, all this. So, is it him? I don't know. He said he's denying it. So, I guess it's like a troll. Just,
Yeah. And there's a lot of those out there.
yeah.
It's so hard to like tell because some of these accounts that, are troll accounts, they come up with stuff that really adds things to the story and makes it that much more believable,
For
So,
sure.
oh my god, it's like, oh my god, who do I believe?
Who do I believe?
But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that quite quickly. Some good news. As Kamala says, I just love good news. I just love good news. Oh, girl, we got to talk about Simone Biles and the drama with her husband.
Oh, yes. We will refer to him as Simone Biles' husband. We won't say his name. And I'll tell you why. So,
He who shall not be named.
he should not be named.
It's giving Voldemort.
So, he's came out in an interview. He basically said when he met Simone Biles, he didn't know who she was. And in my head, I was like, were you not here during when was her prime, like 2016?
Yeah, are you like living under a rock with Patrick Star?
Right, exactly. Because I'm like, how did you not know Simone Biles? She was literally like the hottest name during that year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she was
literally
like
everybody knew about Simone
she's
Biles.
like one of the top gold Olympic medalists of all time, and you didn't know who she was.
Yeah. Anyway.
And more than the fact that he's also an athlete, so it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Be
That's
so
what makes
real.
it funnier.
Yeah, be so real right now. And so we're like, okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that he is clueless as he says he is. Like, he's dumb and clueless as he is. He never heard of Simone Biles, right? Okay, I'll say that. He goes on the interview and say that like he's the catch of the relationship, and she was the one chasing him.
What?
It's like, what?
So cocky.
Right. I was like, excuse you. You should be the one chasing her. This girl's an Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
What are you? I never heard of you. I know you as Mr. Biles. I know you as Simone Biles' husband. I don't know your name. I know Simone Biles, but who are you? Don't trash my girl.
I know that's right.
I was so appalled by this, and a lot of people did too. And he came out recently saying like, you guys are mad. You guys don't know us. It'll never keep us apart. We're not saying divorce. We're not saying divorce the girl. We're saying respect her.
Yeah.
As she deserves. You married her, so you respect her.
Your wife.
You respect your wife. Miss Olympian. When you guys went on your first date, when the first time you went to her room, did you not see all those medals and wonder what she did for a living? Did he not bother to ask?
She should choke him with one of them.
Exactly. I would.
And I would do it too for a check.
And I'd do it too for a check. So yeah.
What a mess.
Yeah. So
It's your bestie, Miss Westie. Don't try to test me. It's gonna get messy.
Literally Simone Biles.
Messy.
Literally Simone Biles.
Literally. Oh my god, let's talk about Northwest for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, of course, what I just sang is yet a snippet of what's gonna be her upcoming song on Kanye's upcoming album with Ty Dolla $ign next year.
She low-key ate with that line. That verse though.
She low-key ate, and I know the song's gonna eat. Like, Northy, what's 4 + 4?
8.
You ate that.
You go, girl.
I'm actually, Kanye's a mess himself, but I don't know. I guess people like dub him a lyrical genius, which I feel like in some ways, yes, I guess I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely love his older work more than what he's been putting out now, but I love the fact that he included his daughter on the album. It's just, someone said, Adonis been real quiet after that. If you guys don't know who Adonis is, that's Drake's son. I just find all that hilarious, like people's takes on that, and the memes that so quickly hit the internet after that snippet was released. So for our last topic of the episode, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry.
Get over it.
I wanted to talk about the interview between ZIWE and George Santos. Now, I love ZIWE and her style of like interviewing. I just think it's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I also was listening to this on a bus ride.
Oh God.
I feel like that's just where I get so much time to brush up on so many things in the world of pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let me just say this guy is a mess, but what politician or what person in government isn't? And
right.
What person in government isn't hiding something?
Right.
You know. So he was like naming people, not naming people, who have done dirty things, and I'm like, you know, it's not like the general public does not know that.
Right.
The government is corrupt. Every government in existence is not perfect. It's flawed.
Right. We didn't talk about the
What do we not talk about?
The senator. The senator.
Oh my God. Well,
we'll
we
talk about this
that.
after. We'll talk about it after this. So
guys,
we got one more topic, guys.
One more topic.
Oh my God.
Basically, all I wanted to say was that he's messy. The people
even down
in politics are messy.
Mm-hmm.
In general, like, what's new, boo?
Right.
But I feel like he has to redeem himself after he was expelled, you know, from Congress, because he's got to do something. He's got to get some kind of money, and so he's desperate.
Yeah.
And he's also just like full of caca.
If he wasn't such a piece of shit and lying his ass off of everything, I think he would have been iconic person. I think he's so funny, but like because of the things that he did, you know, just like all the lying. The thing that what I found so funny was like one time in an interview, they said, "You said you were Jewish," and he was like, "No," and then there's like, "It says here you're Jewish." He's like, "No, I meant was that I'm Jewish."
This man, I cannot. He is so messy.
I was like, "Stop it right now! I'm Jewish."
That's such a lame joke.
I loved it,
George. Come on.
Stop it.
He went on Ozempic and he came out a changed man.
Yeah, for real.
That's all I wanted to say about that. I just thought the interview, which is on YouTube, you guys want to go watch it, definitely. If you want some entertainment, definitely watch that.
Yeah.
ZIWE killed it, as she always does. I just love her style of interviewing, and she ate that.
We love you, girl.
Love you, girl.
So, what we mentioned earlier, that George Santos exposing corrupt congressmen, we have an example of a corrupt congressman that came out, I think it was last week. So, a video came out. Now, let me tell you, this was not leaked. This guy posted it on his OF, I think. He has his own OF, or I think he has like friends that he was comfortable with sharing with. So, he posted this on his own goodwill. So, it was a video of, I think he's like a aide for one of the senators.
Mm-hmm.
And
like a legal aid, yeah.
Yeah. And he posted a video of him getting it from behind by another. I think he was like a German aide. He works with the German government, but like he was there. But yeah, he was getting it behind in one of the Senate rooms at the Capitol Hill.
Wait, was the German guy the top?
Yeah, he was the top.
Okay.
And the
legal aid was the bottom?
Yeah, he was the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you guys could find the video on Twitter. So yeah, if you guys want to see the video, it's over there. And yeah, they were not shy on showing where they were. If you watch the video, it shows the guy, you know, obviously at the bottom, and then the cameraman, bless him, showed the setting of where they were, and you could see the big, you know,
the sign,
on the senator.
Hi, this is the Senate hearing room.
So fun fact, that's actually I saw this in another review. That's the same room where they did like the 9/11 changes. Like I think that's where like they started like doing security changes because of 9/11, like
Oh.
TSA and all that. That same room, that's the same room where he got it. Historic. I know.
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
Oh my god. Yo, what is happening? What is going on?
Honestly, I did not want to believe those stuff. I don't know if you heard like early. I would think like couple. I think it was last year it happened where they found in the White House. But yeah.
Talk about a white Christmas.
Yep, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. That was the last topic that we were going to talk about.
Yes.
Okay, so now I can fake cry. Insert Kim K fake cry. Oh my gosh, guys. It has been a blast. Oh my god. I need to take a moment here. I just can't believe that we're done with 2023 and 2024 is coming soon. And of course, we'll have so many more things to talk about in the world of pop culture, but we'll be back.
We'll be back. Yay! All right,
All right,
see ya.
guys.
Bye
Love y'all.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.